Hello, I'm Joe Temperley from the Lincoln Center Jazz Orchestra, and I'd like to talk to you about. I came to the United States at the end of 1965, December of 1965. And the reason I came to the United States was I'd been working for a long time in London, and I wanted a change of scenery. And I had already been on a tour of the United States with a band called Humphrey Littleton. And Humphrey Littleton was a trumpet player. He was also from a very aristocratic family, educated at Eton, a very highly intelligent man, and he said he landed on the shores of Normandy with a gun and a trumpet on D-Day. So he was a really dear friend of mine, and I worked with him for something like 8 or 9 years. And before that, I worked with a big band. The band leader was Jack Parnell, who was the drummer with Ted Heath's band for a long time. And Jack Parnell had a lot of really very good musicians in the band, including Ronnie Scott and Tubby Hayes and Jimmy Duker and Derek Humble, Ken Ray, Phil Seaman, drummer, and Sammy Stokes, the bass player, and Norman Stenfeldt, a piano player. So that was a very good band to be in. And before that, I worked with several other groups like Tony Crombie and Tommy Whittle, and quite an extensive array of different music. But the thing that brought me to the United States was when I was with Humphrey Littleton. We came over to New York on a tour, and the tour was called Jazz from Newport, and there was 2 English groups on it, and we played all over the place. But the fascinating thing about it was, on the tour, in the concert, was the Thelonious Monk Quartet, Cannonball Adderley Sextet, Lenny Tristano with Warren Marsh and Lee Konitz, and Anita O'Day and George Shearing. So it was a good introduction for me to see exactly what was happening in the United States. Because every night, I would sit by the stage and listen to all these great players like Cannonball and Cannonball's band with Nat Adderley and Sam Jones, and Monk's band with Charlie Rouse, and I think Art Taylor was a drummer. And so it was a good introduction for me. So when I went back to London, I felt very sort of restless for a while, and I wanted to come back to New York, and that's the reason I came back to New York. For somebody that wants to listen to some jazz, British jazz, I would suggest that you listen to a saxophone player by the name of Tubby Hayes. Tubby Hayes was a fantastic player, beautiful, wonderful musician, played the flute, played the piano, played the vibraphone, and he was a wonderful tenor player.